It takes a lot of time to do a proper YouTube channel audit, so YouTube channel analysis, to identify what's working, what's not working. Because you're not only identifying the kinds of buckets of content that they're creating, which is basically, when I say a bucket, it's a bunch of videos that are all following the same format, the same look and feel. Like you might have a podcast bucket, you might have a tutorial bucket, like we just said, right? It takes a lot of effort to you said you gave the definition of the funnel hack. It takes a lot of effort to do a YouTube hack. It does. It's a lot of time. So I'm going to be sharing like 23 YouTube channels with you here so that we can quickly identify who's really slaying it, who's really doing well, not only in a particular period of time, but over time, over this 3-month experiment that I ran. And then if you were a competitor to these people, then you could do you could follow a similar analysis like this so that you can focus your attention on the winning channels. The leaders always have the arrows in the back, right? Success leaves clues. So you're not going to waste your time focusing on ABC channel that's at the very bottom of the list. You're going to focus all your time on the XYZ channel, not copying their content, but you want to analyze why is it their content is outperforming the averages on a consistent basis.
Good morning, marketers. Today we are joined with Andrew, who is going to be breaking down some YouTube channels. He has an amazing spreadsheet with lots of data for you to learn about the metrics that are important to grow your channel and how to do, what we traditionally call funnel hacking on, when you funnel hack a website or a sales funnel. We're going to be doing some YouTube hacking on some YouTube channels. So get ready, because this is going to be a fun, awesome episode for you. Let's go. All right, Andrew, I've seen you break down YouTube channels before. I know that you have these amazing spreadsheets that you put together to really analyze this stuff and figure it out. You do this for us when we first started the show. We found out a lot of interesting technical strategies and so on of kind of what to expect. So break it down for us. Let us know kind of how you put this together and how our viewers can use this information to be able to do their own research if they are going to be starting a YouTube show or a YouTube channel.
Matt, I think you're one of the only people in the world that put those two words together: amazing and spreadsheets. Let's be honest. I mean, spreadsheets are not everyone's jam, but I think this episode we're doing right now is more for like the green personality, like the marketer that loves the data. And I mean, I've always considered myself a data-driven marketer, so I lean on spreadsheets to help me focus my time and attention and energy, which is finite, right, on the best practices, on the channels that are just slaying it, on the channels that are just performing better than the average, right? So over a 3-month period, I've been running an experiment, right? I've been tracking the biggest, most successful CRM platforms, but specifically their YouTube channels. Matt, you've heard of the term funnel hacking, right? What's funnel hacking for those who haven't heard that before?
Funnel hacking is where you basically are modeling success. You find a funnel that's successful and you model it for your own business.
Yeah. And I approach YouTube channel audits, YouTube channel analysis the same way, but how do you know which, because there's so many YouTube channels out there, people can, like, you'll end up pulling your hair out, going insane trying to figure out who you need to pay attention to and who you can, you don't really need to pay close attention to the other ones because they're just not getting the results. They're not getting, and the beautiful thing about YouTube is that it's got a fantastic feedback loop. Okay. There's a lot of public facing data that I don't have to have access to their YouTube studio. I don't have to have access to their back end to determine how successful their YouTube channel is, right? So if you can picture the entire marketplace, attention in the marketplace as a giant pie, how big of that piece of the pie are you controlling in YouTube? And why YouTube? Well, I mean, yeah, I'm biased because I'm a YouTube expert, but it is the #2 website on the planet. It's the #2 search engine on the planet, the #1 video platform on the planet. So my interpretation is that these massive CRM platforms should probably be investing a certain amount of their budget, a certain amount of their activity and their energy into a platform like YouTube, especially since these are marketing experts at the end of the day. So I would expect to see these platforms, these CRM businesses performing well in YouTube. And I got to tell you, I came up with some pretty interesting stats, some pretty interesting data here that shows us certain CRMs are kicking butt, and other CRMs that you might expect would be kicking butt are not doing so well. So yeah, that's what we're going to do.
Can we talk quick about like what kind of content they're producing, or is that going to come later?
Yeah. Oh, we could definitely dive into that. Well, that comes that's more of like a deep dive analysis on specific channels. And that's that when people ask me like, I mean, what we're doing here is we're going to isolate which channels are performing the best. And then once you identify which channels are performing the best, then you would actually dive into their content. Okay, let's figure out what buckets of content they're using. Are they tutorial videos? Do they have a podcast? Are they doing more of a talking head style, educational heavy? Do they do any kind of entertainment at all? Do they do challenges?
What did you notice when you were doing this? What did you notice that they were mostly doing that was effective?
That's a really great question. And unfortunately, I probably saw a lot of things that are not working. I saw a lot more of video content that's not performing well. But ultimately, I think what a lot of these CRMs are doing is they're literally just throwing up tutorial videos on their YouTube channels. And I mean, those are valuable, right? Because you and I, we're professional marketers. You and I all the time go onto YouTube, and because maybe we have like an integration problem, right? Maybe we're trying to upload a contact list of our emails into the CRM, or so we're running into some kind of technical problem. How many times have you gone to YouTube and say, how can I, or how do I, blah, blah, blah. So those kinds of tutorial videos will pop up. And that's exactly one of the reasons why YouTube is so powerful. But it's that's also really how do I say this? That's more of like a reactive way of using YouTube and not really a proactive way of using YouTube is what I'm saying.
Well, I think like, any CRM software, any software business should have their tutorials on YouTube.
Oh, agreed.
Right. Yeah. I think that's like 100%.
Agreed. That should be one bucket. Yeah.
Yeah. But when they start creating content to, create valuable content, should that be on their main channel or start another channel for that? What do you think? Oh,
that's a really great question. And what I'm going to show you on this spreadsheet is some of these businesses actually do have multiple YouTube channels.
Oh, okay.
Which I absolutely love. Like what a lot of them have done is they've created like a community YouTube channel, which I think is brilliant. I think this is where I applaud any of these CRM platforms that have created multiple channels, because they recognize that it's a very different kind of viewer. Sometimes they break up different channels for geographic regions. They'll have their Canada, their main US account, their different geographic regions, because for whatever reason they might have different products and services available for different geographic regions, and then they know that the content that's really successful and popular in the US doesn't necessarily translate, isn't exactly going to be valuable in other parts of the world for whatever reason, right? So yeah.
Right. So what can we get out of this data? Like after you finish everything, like what's the expectation that somebody can learn from understanding the data?
Well, this particular data set is probably the most valuable if you are a CRM platform. I mean,
right. But I'm just saying, let's say you did this because you could do this for any kind of, we did this before for people who are in the space of creating content for creators, right? I remember one thing that we learned was we didn't think that the full episode, the long form, the 1 hour podcast video would outperform the clips. I thought the clips would get more views because they're more topical inside, right? But what we found with all the main podcast YouTubers was that their full episode got more views than the clips. Maybe the clips, when you combine them all, maybe, I don't know. But I think for the most part, people really enjoy just kind of, getting to know that YouTuber, that podcaster. So they're just listening to the full episodes, right? Which was surprising to me. I didn't think that. And that was one thing that we learned.
I think, and you're right. I think Joe Rogan really made that long format, 3 hour long kind of interview format video content really popular. I think he really kicked that style off. I don't know how popular it was before Joe, but yeah, you're totally right. I mean, the shorter clips tends to be just another way that these YouTube content creators can just repurpose the content and get a lot more bang for their buck, right? Because now they're using the same piece of content multiple times, which we're doing as well. Yeah. So
yeah. I'll just give you an example of like, that was one thing that I learned when you did the analysis, right? So what kind of things can people expect to learn if you did an analysis like this for their industry or for their business?
Yeah. Okay. Great question. So it takes a lot of time to do a proper YouTube channel audit, so YouTube channel analysis, to identify what's working, what's not working. Because you're not only identifying the kinds of buckets of content that they're creating, which is basically, when I say a bucket, it's a bunch of videos that are all following the same format, the same look and feel. Like you might have a podcast bucket, you might have a tutorial bucket, like we just said, right? It takes a lot of effort to you said you gave the definition of the funnel hack. It takes a lot of effort to do a YouTube hack. It does. It's a lot of time. So I'm going to be sharing like 23 YouTube channels with you here so that we can quickly identify who's really slaying it, who's really doing well, not only in a particular period of time, but over time, over this 3-month experiment that I ran. And then if you were a competitor to these people, then you could follow a similar analysis like this so that you can focus your attention on the winning channels. The leaders always have the arrows in the back, right? Success leaves clues. So you're not going to waste your time focusing on ABC channel that's at the very bottom of the list. You're going to focus all your time on the XYZ channel, not copying their content, but you want to analyze why is it their content is outperforming the averages on a consistent basis? Because clearly this channel has a very similar audience to the one that you're targeting or the one that you have. I mean, we're using CRMs in this particular lesson that, if we can call this a lesson, but for whoever is listening or watching this episode right now, you need to identify who your competitors are, who your comparables are. They don't even have to be direct competition as long as they have a very similar audience, a very similar kind of viewer that you're attempting to target. And then that way, when you're getting ready to launch a brand new channel, or let's say your YouTube channel is pretty flat, let's say it's like plateaued, hasn't really seen a lot of growth for a while, this is a fantastic exercise for you to run through so that you can identify who are the movers and shakers in your space, in your vertical, and why is it that they're doing so much better than you? And then you can apply what works and discard the rest. That's the idea.
Got it. All right, let's open up the spreadsheet. Let's see what you got.
Let's do it. Okay, so this spreadsheet might look a little bit overwhelming for the uninitiated. This is something that I've been playing around with for a couple of years now, and it's served me really well. So I can focus all my attention on the winners. You can see on the left-hand side here on the A column, I got the best third, the mid third, the low third. That's just a quick way to identify who's really doing well, who's in the average category, no matter what metric we're looking at, and then who's in the bottom third, right? Then you can see I got Salesforce, HubSpot Marketing, Zoho, all the way down to Marketo virtual user groups. I don't know what Marketo is, but Hootsuite Labs, everyone in between, right? You can see I've got everybody organized by their subscriber base. Matt, you and I talked about subscribers in the last episode. Subscribers, for the most part, are kind of a vanity metric, but it's still important to track, right? It's still important. And when you go through an exercise like this, sometimes you can pull out some pretty interesting insights that certain channels have more engaged subscribers, more high valuable subscribers, whereas others less so, right? We'll talk about that later. You can see it's not an exact number because it's a public facing, number that pops up on the channel, and you'll never get the exact number unless you have access to the back end. Now the views, however, is an exact number. You just go into the About tab on a YouTube channel. So
why subscribers not an exact number?
Because when you go to YouTube, let's just go to any channel here. Let's just go to YouTube and I'll show you. They never show you the exact number.
Oh, I see what you're saying. It just says it averages it to the nearest like 10K or something like that.
Yeah. So let's just pull up an example here. Let's go to Salesforce. So obviously it'll be a different number now because we're looking at, let's go to filters. Let's go to channel. And here's Salesforce. So you see 221,000 subscribers, 1,012 videos. So this is where I get that data. And then when you actually click into the channel itself, you can go to the About tab right here that I just said. Go to the About tab. And then now I've actually got YouTube telling me exactly how many views that the channel has generated. Yeah, cool, right?
Right.
Cool. So that's why views is an exact number. Subscribers is always rounded, right? So, we have to be mindful that I know the calculations and formulas that I'm running on the spreadsheet are not going to be 100% because, again, I don't have access to their back-end data, their back-end office. But regardless, this is still better than nothing, right? And then I use a tool called TubeBuddy. I think you're familiar with that tool as well. TubeBuddy has a free plan and then different paid plans. From TubeBuddy, I'm able to collect the views that were generated in the last 30 days. Lifetime videos, again, you can get from where I just showed you when you do a search for the channel. And then the amount of videos they've published in the last 30 days. These are all public-facing metrics that anyone could grab. And then from that data, I'm able to extract certain insights. What I do is I actually have just a very simple formula to calculate the number of views per video, right? So how much bang for their buck is the channel actually generating per video on a video basis, how many subscribers per video, right? Which is also an interesting metric. Again, it's a vanity metric, but still good to know how big their audience is as compared to how much content they're making. And then this is a wonderful metric that I love. I mean, I know I'm totally geeking out on you here now, but clearly I'm a green personality sometimes. The number of views per subscriber, and then just an average, equal weighted average of these three metrics combined. If you just want to quickly, determine who's where, right? Then YouTube also tells us the channel, the date the channel was launched, which tells us how many days old the channel is, which means I can calculate on average how often this channel is publishing a video to their channel. And then at the very bottom here, we got averages, right? So the reason why this is so important is because here, let's just use Active Campaign as an example. I know you're an Active Campaign user there, Matt. So I'm going to change that color right here so everybody can see it a little bit better. And so Active Campaign on March 9th, you can see, like I said, this is a 3-month experiment. I collected this data on March 9th, and then again on April 8th, and then May 8th of this month. And so you can see that if I was on the Active Campaign team, I can quickly identify that we are substantially lower than the average subscriber audience size for everybody in our niche, in our vertical, right? The average size is 41,300 subscribers. Now they have actually generated a pretty decent, almost 2.2 million views on March 9th. But again, the average is over 18 million views. The amount of views in the last 30 days, 14,800, a lot less than the average compared to everybody else on this list. Lifetime videos, they published 402 videos, which is not too bad because it's actually not that far beneath the average. So again, that's one way they can measure themselves against everybody else in the pack. And then you can see how aggressive their strategy is because they actually uploaded 17 videos in the previous 30 days. And the average for everybody in this data set is 10. So they're actually uploading a much more aggressive YouTube.
What are their videos about? Do you remember what their videos were about? What they do 17 videos?
No, I didn't watch everybody's videos. When I run through this exercise, this is just a snapshot in time, right? To identify who's doing really well on March 9th, right? And then because I do this on a regular basis, typically when I do this for clients, I actually do this quarterly. I don't do this every month. I normally do this quarterly, but for this, you and I knew we were going to make a video and I wanted to run this experiment here, right? So I did this, captured this data, which is only a snapshot in time. Then we can track the difference between March 9th to April 8th, which is why I have nothing in the D column, nothing in the F column, because there's no growth rates here. We don't have any data before March 9th. And then obviously compare the difference with May 8th. But I didn't actually click into all of the YouTube channels. And I probably wouldn't have clicked into, if I was actually doing this for a client, probably wouldn't have clicked into Active Campaign because their metrics here are not super impressive. So I wouldn't have actually clicked in. Now, if someone told me, listen, Active Campaign is a super direct competitor to us, I really want to I want to have a better idea, a better understanding of why they're not doing so well. Well, then, yeah, I would have invested the time and effort into doing a deep dive on Active Campaign specifically. But I typically reserve that time on the channels that are actually doing really well. This is a time-consuming exercise, but it's worth it. You're only doing it once a month or once a quarter. And then once you identify who's consistently doing well every single time you run this exercise, now you have to ask yourself, why are they doing so well consistently time and time again, right? So check this out. I want to share something cool with you.
I just want to make a comment on Active Campaign because I use Active Campaign and recently spoke with them. And I know that they are aggressively trying to have better customer support. So that's why I'm curious what those videos are about because maybe they're more kind of like tutorials. I told them that a lot of their tutorials were out of date. And I wondered if they actually went in there and figured that out, what they were. And we talked before recording that we don't have Go High Level on the spreadsheet, which was missed out. We forgot to do it.
I'm kicking myself.
But yeah, I'm actually planning to switch from Active Campaign to Go High Level. And you were saying that they actually look like they had some good metrics too. So maybe in the future we can add them in. But
yeah, agreed.
All right, show me your interesting thing. What were you gonna? Before you jump ahead, I want to ask you something.
Yeah, of course.
You're on that column on views per video, subs per video. That's an average of the lifetime of their right.
Yeah.
Because I wonder about just how accurate that could be because maybe they were not aggressively, or not even aggressive, but just not putting in a lot of effort into like growing a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
8 years ago. Yeah. Maybe they just started like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Right. So it would be kind of interesting I know that's a lot more work to kind of go to every single channel and like look at like when did they start really being consistent with this? Right. And then that might give them more accurate, in terms of them actually putting a marketing strategy behind all this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm just curious about what those numbers would look like if you identified that.
Dude, you're bang on, man. You're bang on. But this is exactly why if I was the YouTube consultant for ActiveCampaign or Salesforce or any of these guys, what I would be recommending is that they run through this exercise on a regular basis, either once a month or once a quarter, because you can never jump in a DeLorean, go back in time and make better decisions. But if you're running through an exercise like this on a regular basis, you end up creating your own historical data, right? Because you're right, these numbers are based off of since the inception of the company, of the channel. So, but when you compare that data with April 8th, with May 8th, then now you can actually, you see where I'm going with this? Now you can actually determine what this particular channel is doing over time, right? So I know once we get into the next few months and we see the growth rates, that's where it gets more interesting. So actually, before I show you that really cool thing, I probably should point this out too, because we got a couple of question marks here.
Yeah.
So right now I've got the list organized by subscribers. So clearly we can see Salesforce has the largest audience, followed by HubSpot Marketing, then Zoho, blah, blah, blah. Sprout Social, Hootsuite Labs, and Marketo are at the bottom, right? So now let's organize by lifetime views. Views are way more important than subscribers. Look at this. Very interesting. Monday.com actually bumped Salesforce out of the top spot. Now, what we don't see with this exercise is that we don't know if what percentage of these views are coming from paid ads and which are organic, right? But
Monday does run tons of ads.
Yeah. But the thing, and they do, we've all seen them, and they're actually legit pretty good ads in my opinion. Now, having said that though, going back to the kind of the analogy that I led things off with at the beginning of this episode here is like, if the marketplace was represented by a pie, and we want to measure how big of the piece of the pie you're controlling in the market, how much attention are you controlling in the marketplace? Well, then it doesn't really matter, does it? It doesn't matter if those are paid ads or if they're organic views. Because ultimately that brand or that YouTuber is growing their authority, growing their influence, growing their reach, whether they're paid for or organic. It's kind of besides the point. I mean, I agree that if I had that additional granular information, that would be powerful for us. But from a marketing standpoint, ultimately, I just care about how much attention are they controlling in the marketplace. So almost 150 million views with only almost 50,000 subscribers. They're kicking butt on that front. But we have a question mark right here. Why do we have a question mark? So I can't say for sure because we don't have this historical data. We don't have the growth rate, but I can tell you because I've been doing this for so long that when you get a question mark, because I basically opened up the channel using my TubeBuddy app, my plugin, okay? And it gave me an NA, not applicable. Now, why the hell would I get a not applicable for a YouTube channel? Any ideas?
Ads? Because
they deleted some videos. They either deleted some videos or they made a bunch of videos unlisted. Yeah, that's why I have a question mark.
And that will just screw up the data on anything like TubeBuddy or vidIQ.
That's
stuff
correct.
Like that?
Yeah, that's correct. So if you're using a third-party tool like TubeBuddy or vidIQ or something, and you get like some kind of error message or not applicable, it's unfortunate we don't have that data. But I can tell you because I've been doing this for so long. It basically means they deleted a bunch of videos that they deemed not valuable or not important or
how many videos do you have to delete in order to like make your data hidden like this?
Well, basically, if the views go into a negative territory, then that messes up TubeBuddy. It messes up that plugin. The plugin goes, I don't know how to figure that. I don't know how to interpret this because the views are actually a negative number now, right? The growth rate is a negative number. So
if you want to prevent people from spying on your channel, now we know the strategies.
just start deleting your videos.
I just wonder, like, if you just put up like one video and then give it 30 days to sit there, gets a few views, and then just like unlist it or delete it. And then it screws up all the data for all these third-party apps.
But I guess you could, but ultimately you'd end up shooting yourself in the foot if you were deleting valuable videos, right? Most channels wouldn't want to do that. So, anyways, but just wanted to quickly explain why I have a couple question marks here because
I feel like we just found this like loophole in this. Yeah, how to protect your data.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong because you got marketers out there like me that are analyzing you.
I know. Yeah. Right?
So then we also have the lifetime video count that I like to keep track of just because I want to know who's got the most aggressive programs. So WordPress, check this out. They only got 15,000 subscribers, but they've published almost, I'm going by the wrong metric there, but they've published over 3,000 videos to their channel, WordPress.
I feel like WordPress has just been around longer than everyone else.
Well, yeah. Well, their channel started in 2014. So their channel's not that old, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, see that? It's only 2,833 days old. There's plenty of other channels on this list that are older. Yeah. So they were kind of late to the game.
Oh, I see.
But it's weird,
Look at
right?
Zoho. Look at Zoho's numbers. Yeah.
Zoho.
Because they started back in 2006.
I had no idea Zoho was that old. I had no idea. Yeah. No, I mean,
I remember hearing about Zoho a long time ago, but yeah, I know what you mean.
But
that is surprising.
There is a chance, though. Like, you know what you said at the beginning of this, how a lot of people, including brands, when they first create a YouTube channel, they're not really that active on the channel in the first early days, right? Most of us.
Yeah, they're just uploading tutorials. It's a free place to host your video, but especially back in 2006, you're not trying to be a YouTuber. Yeah.
Yeah, YouTube wasn't the same beast it is now. 2006, 2009, 2013. Yeah, so you can see, like, in those early days, we can all assume with a reasonable amount of certainty that they weren't really using their channel to the most effectiveness, right? And it's weird to see that they have over 3,000 videos, but they didn't upload anything in the previous 30 days. That is kind of strange, right? I don't normally see stuff like that. Okay, so we've gone through all of the public. So look at this, HubSpot. HubSpot is a huge brand, and they've got the least amount of videos. I suspect, because they've got 41,500, and this is back on March 9th, when they only have 33 videos. My gut tells me that they've probably deleted a lot of videos. I think they've or made a bunch of videos unlisted, because that's a low amount of video count for such an old established company. Well, I guess their channel isn't that old, but still, HubSpot's been around for a long time. So yeah.
And I wonder if they must have other channels.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, 33 total videos, but they published 17 videos in the last 30 days. Like that.
Oh, yeah. They for sure removed videos. Yeah. But then why you never got the question mark? What happened there?
Well, that's because we don't like this. They probably deleted videos more than 30 days ago.
Right.
This metric is only the last 30 days. So if they deleted the videos 90 days ago or whatever, it's not going to show up on this side, right? So, okay. So we went through all the public facing data. I should talk about this here first too. Let's organize. I have all the filter buttons up here, right? So I like to organize who's been uploading the most videos in the last 30 days, because who's aggressive right now, right? Maybe they're not the biggest boys in the block, but who's really investing heavily? And so ServiceNow, their now community was super.
What is ServiceNow? I never heard of this before. ServiceNow
is huge. ServiceNow makes the world work better for everyone. Our cloud-based platform and solutions help digitize and unify your organizations so they can find smarter, faster, better ways to make work flow, so employees and customers can be more connected, more innovative, and more agile, and we can all create future reimagined.
They must be a corporate company.
So they're cloud-based. That's very corporate. Yeah, they're cloud-based
with language platform like that. It's like, okay, so what do you do?
Yeah, they are very corporate, aren't they? They're cloud-based, but knowledge is products. What kind of products do they have here? IT workflows, employee workflows, customer workflows, creator workflows.
Interesting.
Yeah, they're huge.
Okay.
They're huge. I'm no expert on these guys, but they are huge. They're massive. Yeah.
Because like Monday is basically that, right? It's like about creating your workflows, tasks, project management.
Yeah. And let's
when you compare it to like HubSpot, I think HubSpot's more like a marketing platform and a CRM, which is a little bit different. These are more like project management tools, but they could be used as CRMs, I guess.
Oh yeah,
right?
Dude, that's totally fair. And I mean, because ultimately I wouldn't call this a competitive analysis. I call this a comparable analysis, because sometimes they might be direct competitors. Other times you're comparing a brand that has a very similar audience, right? Because sometimes you can pull some really interesting insights just by using a comparable instead of a competitor, right? So, but yeah, their stock price, $430. Everything's down these days. What's their revenue? $4.5 billion.
$4 billion
in 2022. Yeah, they're headquarters in Santa Clara. Yeah, founded in 2004.
I would be really interested if I was like getting in this industry doing marketing. I'm really interested to like get in and figure out why they're so aggressive right now. Maybe they just hired a new team. Maybe they just raised some funding. Like what's going on there, to understand more behind the scenes of the company. Yeah. I think that's interesting that they are.
And it's interesting that you say that, because even though their metrics over here that we're going to get to in a second, they're not over average. They're not super, super great. But when I do this for a client, I can quickly identify for my client that, listen, out of all of these comparables, these are the people that have the most aggressive YouTube strategy. So what do they know that we don't? That's like,
look at those stats where they have for views per subscriber in the last 30 days. It's only like 82 versus Monday.com at almost 3,000.
This actually isn't, these metrics aren't in the last 30 days. These metrics are total. So it's total. Yeah, total views by total subscribers. Yeah, I could create another column and do just a separate column for the last 30-day metrics. But I chose to make these metrics for the lifetime of the channel. Yeah.
Are they just making a bunch of crappy videos? ServiceNow? You got the channel open. Go over that channel. Yeah. And let's go look at their videos. What are they doing?
Well, keep in mind too, I pulled this metric, this data on March, right? So we're going to have a different set of 30, we're going to have a different set of videos in the last 30 days. Okay. So what do we got here?
Oh, you know what? Okay. So this stuff is all about them. Yeah. You know, it's not like they're making content for their customers. They're just talking about them. They're telling their story, right? Oh, totally. So it's not as interesting. It's not going to be converting. I'm not going to watch that and be like, oh, I subscribe.
Like 2.5 minutes, 67 views. Like this is for a channel
this video is called the video is called The Power of Your Voice. 2.5 minute video with 67 views. You know, it's probably on their website somewhere. You know, they just upload it here. They're not trying to do the YouTube thing. Otherwise, like, look at these titles. It's like there's not even consistency in thumbnails on this channel.
Yeah, and I'm not a fan of their thumbnail strategy at all. And then what something else I'm looking here for you, but I don't have a perfect. Sometimes you can clearly pick out the ads. You know what I mean? Because it'll be like a 45-second video that's got 1 million views and 2 comments. Those videos we can, you know, I mean, we can't say for sure, but just by looking at the data, you can interpret what the video was used for. I don't see anything with millions of views or 100,000 views or anything, but I mean,
what's up with the sorting right now? Why is the sorting so off whack?
Well, it's sorting by the most recent. We could go by most popular and see what their most
was it? No, because it went from 2 months to 2 weeks as you scroll down.
Oh, that's just because they weren't uploading. Is that what it did?
Yeah, just now.
I didn't see that. Hold on, 6 days, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks.
Oh, now. Oh, okay, wait. 2 months. Okay, scroll. I swear it was like.
Oh, okay.
It went down to weeks. Okay, maybe I don't know. Maybe I was tripping.
Just another glitch in the matrix. That's all. But just to further emphasize what I just said, look at this thing. 31 seconds, 1.1 million views. I'm going to click on it. Let's see how many comments this
it's obviously an ad. 30 seconds. Yeah.
Let's see. Let's do a little reconnaissance here, eh? Oh, look at this. 256 comments. That impresses me.
There you go.
I'm serious. I'm shocked. But see, then what I would have to do is I'd have to read through the comments and see if people are actually enjoying the ad or not. But anyways.
Right. But a 30-second video, obviously, it's an ad. Yeah. So
cool. And ultimately at the end of the day, like I said, views are views. If you're growing your brand and your reach and everything, then you're achieving the goal. Whether YouTube's going to be happy to take your money. They're a business. They'll be more than happy to take your money. Okay. So we went through the videos in the last 30 days. Now let's go by views per video. Who is the winner? Monday.com. Again, ads might be influencing this metric, but clearly
I think Monday runs a lot of ads.
Yeah, they do.
I see their ads all the time. Yeah. It's like Grammarly, you know, Monday, Grammarly is like always. Yeah. Give me a break.
But check out the second spot there, ClickUp. I've never used ClickUp. Have you ever used ClickUp?
Yeah, so I actually did. I was going through. I went through Monday and ClickUp and Asana and Trello. I was trying to figure out which one to use.
Nice.
I was leaning more towards ClickUp. I think ClickUp, and they also just raise a lot of money. They're growing rapidly. They're very, they're getting really big. So yeah, I think ClickUp is interesting. I would I choose ClickUp over Monday.
Oh yeah. Very cool. And yeah, they're there on the second spot. They're not too far behind. Then we have a huge drop from number 2 to number 3 with Salesforce, followed by HubSpot Marketing. Okay. And then who's the bottom here? Marketo again, the poor little Marketo guys. They are, I guess their channel has been around.
Oh, there you go. You do have 2 HubSpot channels there. You know the one you pointed out, the HubSpot. There is another one right there, HubSpot Marketing. Yeah. That's the one that they seem to be more focused on. Yeah. The HubSpot one is probably more the corporate. Yeah.
Well, and the HubSpot Marketing was launched in 2007, whereby HubSpot was only launched in 2015.
There you go.
So the HubSpot Marketing channel was probably their main channel. And then for whatever reason, they probably renamed it to HubSpot Marketing and then spun up a brand new channel called HubSpot years later.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. And then I didn't highlight the worst But let's just go ahead and do that because I can make these red because it's interesting to see WordPress. WordPress has been a big, they're, a pretty big company, but they're not doing so well on views per video.
Views per video, horrible.
And Freshworks.
Yeah.
They're the top 4.
And Marketo. I know Marketo. Definitely,
Was that how you say that? Marketo? Gotcha.
Marketo, yeah. They're like an email marketing platform.
Oh, are they? Gotcha.
But yeah, they probably just have, but also that was his virtual user groups. That could be like another channel they have versus like their main.
Well, and I couldn't find, if memory serves me correctly, I couldn't find an actual proper YouTube channel for them. Adobe, no, not that. Marketo virtual user groups.
Yeah, that's weird.
These channels are not applicable. This is Adobe. So yeah, this is the only channel I found for them. So
interesting. Okay.
Yeah, pretty weird, right? Okay, so that's views per video. Let's go ahead and go to subscribers per video. We got the top 4. I'm going to go ahead and highlight the bottom 4 as well, just so we can keep a quick eye. I'm big with color schemes. Just helps me identify.
Yeah,
quickly, right?
That's cool. Yeah.
So HubSpot.
Yeah, it's basically the same people. Yeah.
HubSpot's the winner, followed by HubSpot Marketing.
Look at Keep. Look at how bad Keep's doing on subs per video. Man.
Oh wow, yeah. They're not doing so hot. Well, they're doing okay with the views per sub. And their channel's super old. They're over. So
Keep used to be Infusionsoft, right? So just everyone else, just changed the name there. But
pretty small audience, but that's a respectable amount of views. 9.3 million views for that.
They used to be like the only choice, like kind of what they did. Their software. There wasn't a lot of it. There was like Ontraport was another option, and maybe not even HubSpot. I think it was like Ontraport or Infusionsoft. And Infusionsoft, everyone went with Infusionsoft because it was the only platform that could really do all your affiliate tracking, your email marketing, all that stuff. But now there's so much competition and people just got, I think Infusionsoft was a bad service, high prices. Like I had a bad experience with them too. I won't get into it.
Oh, yeah.
So they rebranded to Keep, and looks like people are still pissed off. They still know. That's Infusionsoft. I don't know.
They're not doing too well on the YouTube side of things. Plus, they only uploaded 2 videos. They do have a lot of videos on their channel, 787 videos back in March. So they have an aggressive strategy, but yeah, they're in the red here for subscribers per video. HubSpot both their channels are dominating on that front, but we're going to come back to this because there's something interesting there I want to share with you. And then views per sub, Monday.com once again, followed by ClickUp again. And then all of a sudden we got Keep way up there. So Keep is not doing great on the subscribers per video, but they're doing really well in the views per subscriber. So for the so this would be another example of something that would warrant a deep dive in their channel, because these 4 channels, well, I mean, really the first 2 are doing exceptionally well. And then there's a huge drop down to the next 2. But really, if I was a CRM platform, right, I would dive into these 4 channels and be like, how is it that they're able to convince their viewers to consume multiple videos and to keep coming back? Because clearly they're doing something that works, right? And you don't know unless you go through an exercise like this. You don't know because now, like if let's say this is the metric we care about, views per subscriber, right? Now is where you would actually and if you're doing this every month or you're doing this every quarter and you see the same 4 channels at the top, then this would warrant, okay, now we need to do a funnel hack or a YouTube hack. Now we need to do a YouTube hack. Now we need to do a deep dive analysis. What kinds of videos are they uploading? Do they use playlists? What are their playlist strategies? What's their call to action? What's the editing and pacing like in their videos? Are they using background music effects or animated text? Then you just go deep. You go super deep into their content, right?
I'm actually thinking like maybe they did some contest or like, hey, go subscribe to our channel. They could have done some more kind of aggressive growing their subscriber base at some point in their history, which is what kind of bumped their numbers up. I feel like that might be it, but we'd have to, again, look at their channel, their videos, see what's going on there, right?
Yeah. And then, I mean, I do have an average column here if you want to be more generic across these 3 different metrics. Now, okay, cool. This is the cool thing that I actually wanted to share with you. And then we can actually go through the period of growth to see who's really doing well. So I'm going to pick on HubSpot because when I was playing with the data here, before we hit the record button, I saw something interesting. So I'm just going to go ahead and highlight them, make them purple so we can see them where they're at. So for views per video, they're respectable. They're in the mid-range, right? 7,219 views per video. It's a small channel. They only have 33 videos at the time, but still we know that they did something to reduce the size of their channel, right? So let's go ahead and look at subs per video. We already talked about this. Wow, look at that. I mean, they obviously uploaded a bunch of content, got a bunch of subscribers, and then deleted a bunch of videos. I'm guessing. That's a total guess on my side. But watch what happens. So we're looking at subscriber per video. Then look what happens when we go over to views per sub. They literally go from the very top to the very bottom. So it does cause, like, it certainly makes someone like me who does this on a regular basis, I'm like, whoa, what is going on with HubSpot?
So you think some fake subscribers? What do you think?
It's possible. I mean, you and I know, like, we've been around the business for a while, and it's possible to go out there and buy some fake subscribers because some channels artificially inflate their subscriber base because they want to have that peace of mind knowing that they have, like, they want that vanity metric is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. Do you want to pull up their channel? Let's do a little quick quick review of their channel. Let's see what we find.
Let's do it. I love this geeking out stuff. All right, so that's HubSpot marketing. That one popped up first because that's obviously the more active channel. And then here's HubSpot. So they got 58 videos now. Let's go to HubSpot here. Let's go to videos.
So let's see what they're doing here.
So they actually have a look and feel for, I would like to see more people on their thumbnails. They do have some, but I would like to see more. Too much text on some of these. The text is too small.
they're doing customer support videos.
Yeah,
what it looks like, right? Typeform, HubSpot integration, Sprout Social HubSpot integration. So this is all. So that makes sense as to why they created this other channel, because they have the HubSpot marketing stuff. You don't want to inundate people with this kind of stuff. Have another place where you can go just find all the help stuff. Looks like they have some commercials there.
That's a really good. You can see they actually label them as ads, which is, makes our job a lot easier. I'm surprised to see this one only had 281 views. This one's got 243,000 views. They must have just shut this one off right away.
Yeah, that is weird. And now let's go to the oldest video. Let's just scroll down. Yeah, there's only 33 of them, right? Look at that one, 1.2 million. Yeah, these are a lot of ads.
2.5 million. Yeah, lots of ads.
Interesting that they're running their ads on this. Yeah, and that's 9 months ago. You're right. So this channel started in 2015, and the oldest video is 9 months old. So I know why the numbers are off, man. Because they have all these subscribers, but they delete all these videos.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, that's what I'm suspecting. We have no proof that they deleted a bunch of videos.
No, for sure. This channel got started. Yeah. But that means they didn't buy fake subscribers, right? Because it means that they must have had way more videos that got the subscribers, and you're averaging out how many videos they have to how many subscribers they have. There you go. Yeah, there's no fake subscribers.
No, you and I know that people do that on a regular basis, but we have no way of knowing what exactly happened with this YouTube channel because I only started collecting the data back on March 9th. But there's a reason why I'm kind of picking on HubSpot now here too, because we're going to jump into April and May in a second here too.
All right, let's go. Okay.
All right. So yeah, here we are back here. Now we're looking at March. We've spent a lot of time talking about March 9th, and we had no data on the growth rates because we didn't have any historical data. But if we jump forward here, 1 month later, 30 days later, we got April 8th, 2022. Now we can actually see how the subscriber growth has changed between March 9th and April 8th. Okay. And we can also look at the growth rate and the views as well, right? That's why it's so valuable to do this exercise on a regular basis because you end up getting a lot more juicy data. So if I organize by the growth rates, you'll see Hootsuite Labs grew by 13.4% in subscribers, which I believe is their community channel, right? Because again, like I said, a lot of these channels have spun up multiple channels because they have very.
It just got started. You could see there, got started in 2021. Yeah. So that's cool.
Yeah, and they have the highest growth rate, which is good to see because I mean it's easier to have a more impressive growth rate when you have smaller numbers, obviously, but you'll never catch up to your comparables. You'll never catch up to your competitors unless you have that growth rate that's like orders of magnitude faster than your competitors, right? Same thing here with Marketo. They only have 631 subscribers, but they grew by over 7%. MailChimp grew by over 5%. ServiceNow, the Now community, grew by 3.7%. And then Buffer's at the bottom here. Well, let's highlight the bottom 4 too, just to keep it easy to see. So yeah, Hootsuite, Freshworks, HubSpot, and Buffer grew by the slowest rates on the subscriber base. Okay, so now let's look at lifetime views. This is insane. This is why I was picking on HubSpot in the last one, because and I'm going to change this one right here too. This is why when you see 2,426% growth rate in lifetime views, ads, those are ads. Because I mean, we went from March 9th to April 8th. We're only at 44 videos. They still have a very aggressive strategy. They uploaded 10 videos, but that is the average, actually. As you can see, that's the average here. So that's not super, super great, I guess. But their views just exploded. So you can plainly see that they threw a ton of money at YouTube in this period of time. And like I said, YouTube's a business. At the end of the day, they'd be more than happy to take your money. But now HubSpot is aggressive with this relatively small channel, 44 videos now, are aggressively growing their awareness, their influence, their authority, because they're just they're throwing money at YouTube right now. Like, it's almost like, I don't know what their budget is, but like, this is ridiculous. So Marketo is taking up the tail end there, followed by Zendesk. We haven't talked about Zendesk yet. And then Hootsuite Labs. And then who's at the bottom here? Aweber, Keep, Hootsuite. And ServiceNow is a negative number. So remember, we already talked about the question marks in the last one. Now we have proof that ServiceNow likely deleted some videos or made some videos unlisted. Yeah. So now the data is no longer captured. And that's why I have a question mark here. That's why TubeBuddy gets confused, gets all panicky. And
yeah, I did notice in March, it said they uploaded like 67 videos or something like that, right?
Did they? ServiceNow. Let's go back. I can't remember.
It was
ServiceNow support. Where are they? ServiceNow. Right there. They uploaded 2 videos.
Oh, 2 videos.
In the previous. And now, and then they uploaded, where are we here? They uploaded 7
there.
videos.
61. Oh, I'm looking at ServiceNow Now Community.
Oh,
there's 2 ServiceNows.
Yes, that's right. They also have more than one channel. Yeah. So,
okay. So was that on the other spreadsheet? Both?
Yeah.
2?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right here, ServiceNow. Yeah, you're right. ServiceNow, the community uploaded 36 videos. Very aggressive strategy. And then, wow, they doubled that to 61 videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that probably did them some favors, because they're in the top 4 here for the growth of their audience.
Nice. So, damn, 60. That's like 2 videos a day.
Yeah, that's an aggressive strategy. Damn. So because their views, let's look at their views only jumped by 6%. That's impressive over only 30 days.
That's good. Yeah.
It's hard to say if they did any aggressive ads like HubSpot, but they have a much more aggressive content strategy than HubSpot. So their organic strategy is doing a lot more of the heavy lifting, rather than HubSpot's doing. They
could have been directing traffic either through their website, their emails, or social. They could have been taking advantage of one of their sources of traffic to pump up the channel. Right?
Dude, you're bang on, and I'm always very cognitive of that. I always talk to clients about this. Like sometimes it's what I like to do, and let's just look at, because I got HubSpot open here. Let's just go to their most recent video. Sometimes I didn't do it in this particular experiment, because it's part of my workflow with a completely different task. But what I do is I typically capture the number of views that a video will collect, but I'll also collect the number of thumbs ups, because if a video is generating views because it's embedded on their website, those views are less valuable in YouTube's eyes. YouTube will still count it as a view, but it doesn't weigh the view the same way. Whereas thumbs ups, you can really only give a video a thumbs up if you're actually watching it on the YouTube platform itself. So when I'm weighing out like how successful someone's videos are on their channel, I'm actually organizing the success of a video by the number of thumbs ups, not by the number of views. So yeah, that's a little extra tip there. Yeah.
Cool.
All right. So lifetime views, what do we have here? So who's the winner again? HubSpot, kicking ass. They're more than happy to pay YouTube, but they're going to gain in awareness and influence and authoritativeness and all of that. Okay. So who's got the most views in the last 30 days? Whoops. It's the same. When I organize it by highest to lowest, for whatever reason, it puts the question mark at the top. So HubSpot, again, is obviously the winner, followed by Monday.com. Monday.com, Zendesk, Salesforce. All right. And then lifetime videos. We don't have to go by that metric because we already have the March 9th data. ServiceNow, Now Community, they're the most aggressive, 61. Monday, Pipedrive. We haven't even talked about Pipedrive yet, but Pipedrive uploaded 17 videos. Okay, so views per video. How did they do? Monday.com, ClickUp, HubSpot. So even though HubSpot had a really aggressive paid strategy, they're still in third place. They're not doing.
It's interesting how Monday, because their growth didn't go that much. I mean, they could be running ads, right? But it's just interesting that maybe they're running ads with the target of getting views versus HubSpot running ads with the target of getting subscribers. Oh no! Sorry, no, because that's still their lifetime views percentage going up.
Yeah, lifetime views.
I see. That's interesting.
Yeah, I haven't been using these metrics for the last 30 days. I could, but I've reserved this data for the lifetime views. Yeah, and this is why I like to track so much that's why I collect so much public data, and then I use these formulas to tell me, because it's really hard to interpret what the data is telling you, what the story is, unless you collect all of the metrics, because you can either confirm a theory or you can disprove a theory if you go through the views, the subs, and measure them appropriately against, so that you're comparing apples against apples. That's how I designed this whole spreadsheet. And it didn't always look like this. Like a couple years ago, it was a much more dubbed down version, and then I just figured something out, and then kept adding new things in, right? So
can you figure this data out if you were not doing it in real time every 30 days?
No, I wouldn't be able to. No, I would. What I should do is talk to like some kind of software developer guy that could scrub the various YouTube channels that I determine that I want to track. And I wonder if there would be like a software out there, or like maybe like a TubeBuddy or somebody that would be able to do this automatically for me. Oh man, that would be gold. That would be gold. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because like, if you were not doing this in real time, you wouldn't be able to figure out a lot of this data.
Yeah.
So
I like the growth rates. We've already talked about these metrics on the March 9th metrics. We can jump into May 8th here, the more recent stuff. And then we can quickly identify Hootsuite Labs now is the top. Was it Hootsuite Labs last time? This is why I love the comparison. Yeah, it was Hootsuite Labs. So there you go. 2 months in a row, Hootsuite Labs.
Let's go take a look at Hootsuite Labs channel. Let's see what they're doing.
Let's do it. Because if I was a CRM platform, I would want to know what the hell is Hootsuite Labs doing that their subscriber base is growing so much quicker than ours, right?
There you go.
I like their thumbnails. I like their thumbnails.
They're doing tips on growing on Instagram, TikTok. I noticed Later.com does this. If you take a look at Later.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what it is that they're giving you marketing tips and data, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Also Sprout Social does this. I don't know about Social.
Is it Later.com or just Later?
It's Later.com.
Okay.
Their YouTube channel does this. Because they're like social media marketing platforms.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what it is. I think this is Hootsuite was probably looking at Later. Yeah.
Let's go to videos.
Yeah, the other one is Agora Pulse also does it.
The all-in-one social media platform.
So you see, look at their content is, Instagram SEO tips, TikTok this, you know what I mean? Trending stuff. They did a lot of shorts here. Then you go back to the Hootsuite thing. It's the same sort of content, right? It's like the algorithm hacks and the, different data they can pull.
I think this is pretty obvious, man. Like you and I have talked a lot about the creator economy in recent episodes. These guys, they're a brand and they're making themselves look like a creator. I find that very interesting.
Yeah. It looks like they've hired some people who are the creators for Hootsuite now.
They've basically made certain employees that they deemed whatever, like they have maybe an on-camera presence or they have an authority on the team for whatever reason. And they're like, hey, we need you to start making some YouTube videos. We recognize YouTube is an important platform for us, blah, blah, blah. And so Hootsuite Labs, big congrats to you because month over month, your subscriber growth rate is just super, super impressive. 14.3%, 13.4% respectively. That is really cool. They're doing a great job. And Marketo, they're on the smaller side, but they're still doing okay. MailChimp and then ServiceNow, now Community.
What's Marketo doing? Let's go look at their stuff.
Let's do it.
It's so weird that they don't have like just like a channel for like their support and stuff. Like, what is this? Are they doing marketing tips too?
Let's go to videos. Oh, they're not. So they're not doing proper thumbnails, unfortunately. Yeah, these are not mobile optimized.
What are these?
Nordics, find your API.
Engage, Champion, Orange. Yeah, this is like weird titles. Lead source and UTM capture.
Yeah.
San Diego. Some events. So webinars. There's the webinars.
That's what look at the length.
They're all like hour long.
Yep. Yeah, look at the length. You're right. Almost all of these are going to be webinars. Which is too bad they don't put a little bit of energy into the thumbnail, because none of these are optimized for mobile, which is the vast majority of YouTube users. Yeah, that's a shame.
Yeah, it is weird. They don't get a whole lot of views. What's their most popular one?
Oh,
most popular videos.
Check it out.
It seems like
only 2,000
maybe they
views.
have.
That sucks. That's too bad. Yeah, they need
go to Marketo's website. Go to Marketo.
They need to talk to a YouTube person.
go to about and okay, fine. Yeah, you just click on their LinkedIn.
Oh, that is this their site?
What? It went to the wrong place? What is this?
Why did they?
Oh, it's some user group thing. Oh, Adobe bought Marketo. It's called Marketo. What?
Why did it take me there? Okay, hold on.
That's some user group thing that they're using.
Nation.marketo. Is this their website? Nation.marketo?
I think it's just marketo.com. That's a subdomain for they're probably using some sort of a community platform for this, built by Adobe, maybe Adobe bought them.
Oh, I didn't know that. Gotcha. Adobe Experience.
Yeah, Marketo must have bought Marketo.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they don't have a channel. Scroll down. Let's go see where their YouTube link is at the bottom.
Oh.
Yeah, YouTube there.
So no YouTube. So obviously they're not valuing YouTube like these other platforms are. Yeah.
Yeah. I think they need to be reached out to.
That's a real shame, because I mean, like, reading between the lines. So YouTube. Like, no, I'm not gonna tell me, man. Like, would you go to Facebook or Twitter and type in, if you were a Marketo user and you're having a problem with something, would you go to Facebook or LinkedIn no, you'd go to YouTube. First
place, I want YouTube.
Yeah.
Out of all of them, for a software platform, I always go YouTube to see what they're doing and stuff.
Yeah.
Facebook is really dying, man.
So there you go, Marketo. I'm going to reach out to you. You need some help.
You're going to have to reach out to Adobe, and that's going to be impossible.
Is that shots fired? Is that shots fired there, man?
I don't know. I feel like Marketo must have been like, you can go Marketo acquired. Like, look it up. Let's just see. I bet you they got acquired by Adobe. I feel like Marketo's been in the game for a while. I could be confusing it for something else.
Oh, I'm not familiar with them at all. So you're going to have to tell me.
Marketo acquired.
Business Wire.
There you go. Adobe to acquire Marketo. There you go. So they must have bought it and just killed it. I don't know. It's one of those,
man. How much? Where is this? B2B marketing engagement?
They usually don't say.
For $4.75 billion? Oh. Really? No, that can't be.
$4.75 billion?
Today announced it has entered into a definitive agreement to acquire Marketo, the market-leading cloud platform for B2B marketing engagement, for $4.75 billion. Wow.
Crazy.
Marketo was worth almost $5 billion? I didn't know that.
But you remember when MailChimp got acquired by FreshBooks? Oh, sorry, not Fresh. Sorry, Intuit.
Intuit completes the acquisition. Okay.
Yeah, so they bought MailChimp, and they bought
they bought something else at the same time.
Yeah, the very popular tax accounting platform, and then they put them together.
Okay, now I want to know if Intuit has a YouTube channel. You see how this gets, I don't know. I think this
goes down these rabbit holes.
I think this is fun because it takes me down a rabbit hole, and then what you do is, the trick is, what you do is you open up an incognito window. Oh, they do have a channel. 32,000 subscribers. Oh, wow. TurboTax, QuickBooks, Mint, and then
QuickBooks. There we go. Yeah. That's what I was talking about. So there's like QuickBooks plus MailChimp. They've been advertising them together a lot.
Gotcha.
Because they're like the suite for small businesses, and like they bought TurboTax apparently too. I don't, So
yeah, you can always see the ads, but I'm trying to find I wonder what they're.
It's interesting that they got MailChimp inside there with all those other tools. Everything else is all kind of accounting and money related.
I was going to say the same thing. It seems like the oddball out, doesn't it?
But MailChimp got acquired for some billions of dollars. So it's interesting that, I forget what it was. I don't think it was $4 billion. So that means Marketo got bought out for more than MailChimp.
Wow.
But yeah, all these companies, like I feel like every one of these kind of software companies should be doing some sort of a YouTube strategy, like for how much they're worth, how much money they have, what it would cost them to do that. Like what Hootsuite's doing right now. How much do you think that costs them? It's like, they're a huge company.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what do you think they're going to invest? Like, not like maybe $20K a month. Maybe. I doubt it. And I think they could get it done for a way less. I'm talking about that talent that they have probably works there doing other stuff too.
Oh, hell yeah.
Right?
Hell yeah. They're not.
So you got a bunch of employees.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I mean. It's like, it won't even cost that much.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think it's a no-brainer for any brand, any business, any entrepreneur. I truly believe this. A YouTube channel is only going to support you because every time you hit the record button, you're cloning yourself. and you're making your brand accessible 24/7, 365. So when it's 2:00 in the morning and I'm having a problem with ABC, I'm going to go to YouTube to find the answer. I'm not going to go to your website. I'm not going to go to your app. I'm going to go to YouTube. And it's vital for your brand to exist where, fish where the fish are. And I mean, if I was a CRM, if I was any one of these guys or go high level or any of the brands that I failed to include in this list, I would look at this average number. On average, they've added 593 videos to their channels. Some are below, some are above. But right away, what the norm, average, medium is. And if you've uploaded less than 600 videos to your channel, then it's like, okay, team, we got to get into kick into gear here and get into content creation mode because look, they're kicking our butts here on the video front, right? So
yeah, and it's interesting too that like there are companies that have now $1 billion valuations, like Monday.com. I know there's like Grammarly. I think Grammarly got acquired already, and they were like really aggressive with YouTube and doing this. So it's like if you were a software company, it's like why would you not be looking at this sort of stuff and be like, okay, how do we implement something like this? I mean, it's a long-term play. It's not going to happen overnight, but there's like big companies now that were, primarily aggressive on YouTube. And I feel like YouTube has the most longevity. If you're going to go like hard on Facebook, if you went hard on Facebook, for the last 10 years now, it's like got you nowhere. It's like Facebook's organic reach has totally died. Facebook ads going downhill. Yeah. Right.
And then,
I don't see anything in the radar for YouTube being like, any sort of like major risks of it just kind of dying, They're still way ahead market leader.
YouTube was arguably, I don't know. I can't say this for sure, but I think YouTube was like investing in VR even before Facebook was because their VR platform has been around since 2018. When did Facebook or Meta start getting into VR? I don't even know.
They acquired Oculus around that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
YouTube's not going away. Facebook's not going away either, but come on. Video content is the number one source of medium consumed today. One day it's going to be disrupted by VR and AR too, right? But so check this out. And then before we wrap things up here, if we're going to look at views per subscriber as our number one most important metric, it's just an example. If like this just happens to be the metric that you just mostly care about. Let's say Monday.com, ClickUp, Keep, and Zendesk are kicking butts. And in this situation on May 8th, they are the ones kicking butts. What you could do then is because now I've calculated on average how often do they upload a video. It's pretty self-explanatory. They're basically uploading a video once a week, right? If I delete all the others, then we get an average. So they're uploading a video every 6.3 days, right? So right away, if I was a CRM competing with these 4 brands, I would say, team, we got to upload at least 1 video a week, probably 2 videos a week just to catch up to these guys. That's what I would say.
Yeah. Andrew, I find this really valuable. Like if somebody wanted you to do this for them, do you offer this as like either like a one-off or if I say, hey, Andrew, can you track, I got 10 channels. Can you track them for me every 30, 45 days or whatever it is? Is that something you do? Because I know you do this for your clients who, maybe on bigger package and stuff. I just think this could be very valuable, for an industry. Let's say I say, hey, can you give me this industry stats every 30 days? And maybe a whole bunch of people could just pay for those stats every 30 days. Or I say, hey, I have these 10 channels. I want you to monitor them, report to me back every 30, 45 days, every quarter, whatever it is. Do you think that's something that you could do?
That's a really great question. And honestly, I don't break this out as a standalone service because it's not valuable enough. I wouldn't do just this for a client. I have packages. If you go to ytera.com, you'll see the different packages that my agency offers. And this is included in every single package that I offer because it is that important. But there's so many moving pieces and an effective YouTube strategy that I would never break this out into like a standalone service because so then the client goes, great, thanks, Andrew. Now what are they going to do with it, right? They're going to need a lot more insight and guidance and coaching.
Yeah, you need a strategy. Yeah. I guess for me, because I can see it being valuable because I just looking at it now, I'm like, okay, I know where I would look and get ideas and figure things out. Yeah. Right. So I guess that's why I'm thinking of it that way. You're right.
You're also somebody who's like, you're a professional that's been around the block more than once and you would take these insights and run with it where like, I know you, like, I know I could share this with you and you'd be like, awesome, Andrew, thanks so much. This is all I need. But if I was talking to Marketo or someone else, I wouldn't, like, maybe this sounds bad, but I wouldn't trust that they would know what to do with the data. I wouldn't trust that they would know what to do. They would need a lot more hand holding, in my opinion. Yeah. If I'm being honest.
That makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. All right, let's wrap it up, man. This was really interesting insight. This was actually my request to Andrew because he did something like this when we first started our channel and analyzed other YouTubers in the creator space. And I was like, this is awesome. And so I asked him if he could put something like this together for a industry. He chose the CRM platform. So I think some CRM platforms in this list are probably going to end up seeing this video. So if you guys are watching this video, definitely reach out to Andrew. He knows his stuff, and he can definitely help you grow your YouTube channel. Everyone else watching, we're going to do more marketing tips on Good Morning Marketers for you in future videos. We usually are covering the news and stuff like that, but we do want to do more educational content for you in the future as well. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, ultimately, at the end of the day, the YouTube channel is a no-brainer for any brand, any enterprise, any entrepreneur, like I said, because this is the only scalable way to get your brand out to the masses. And I mean, it's marketing 101. These are CRM platforms. These are marketing professionals. I don't have to tell them to fish where the fish are. So, and you and I have shared many times in previous episodes about the YouTube impressive metrics with regards to active users and the amount of the bounce rates and all of that stuff. It's a no-brainer. All of these CRM platforms and every brand, in my opinion, better have an aggressive YouTube strategy. Otherwise, they're going to leave money on the table. They're going to lose out to the other brands who are actively and aggressively participating on the YouTube platform.
Absolutely. All right, awesome, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to, we have a we have a Spotify playlist if you guys want some music to jam out to. I recently noticed a few more people adding some tracks to it. So if you guys want to check it out, it is in the description in all of our podcasts and on the YouTube show. Just check out the description, go over to Spotify, listen to some music with us. You can add a song in there as well. And don't forget, we talked about in the last episode, we're not going to ask you to subscribe anymore, but instead go and watch some other videos on the channel because we don't want subscribers. All right. Take care, guys. Bye.